is your Daily 5 for Thursday, June 4th, 2026. If you pay attention to these types of stories, you have likely already seen, read, or heard about the upswing in adoption of the DuckDuckGo app on the iPhone and the increase of users that are utilizing the DuckDuckGo search engine. Now, of course, I talked about the fact that I moved over to DuckDuckGo a long time back, well before any of this AI stuff was around, because I felt like it was already a superior offering to anything that Google was doing. It just felt like it was giving me better results. Now, in Google I.O.'s roster of announcements, the one that got the most attention, and I think in some ways really irritated the most people, is I guess you would have to say, the transformation of the Google search engine into this conversational reply discussion engine chatbot thing that they want everybody to use. And Google is, as far as I know, there is a way to still get the classic Google search to work, but it's not very obvious. And I don't think Google is making it something that they're making it clear they don't want you to do that. So they're basically defaulting everybody to this chatbot response engine and hoping that you never go through the steps to get the other engine, the classic version, to work again. And so it's not really a surprise that people are looking for an alternative to that, because they feel like they're in a sea of companies. They're all telling them, hey, you're going to use this stuff, or you're not going to use any of our stuff at all. And people are, I think, to a lot of these companies, surprised, saying, okay, then we won't use your stuff at all, and bailing because there are alternatives. But it often gets framed, when I hear this talked about, this particular element, is most people are phrasing this as, oh, people hate AI, so they're going to DuckDuckGo to escape it. And I think there is an element of that, but it can't possibly just be that, because the thing is, DuckDuckGo does have AI. The thing is, it's optional. So if somebody was dogmatically opposed to AI and must burn it all down and kill all data centers and blah, 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 they wouldn't go to DuckDuckGo, because that's still a platform that allows for AI to be used on it, which of course is religiously against what some people believe. But the thing I think people are responding to very, very almost physically is this idea that they're being told they have to use this stuff. And you see it everywhere. How many ads, if you hear any, do not have the words AI in them? How many things do you see that somebody's offering something that don't have the letters AI somewhere? People are just sick of it because it is being presented as something that is inevitable that they will have to use. And so again, and I think this has been true pretty much from the beginning, it's not that people have a problem with the tools. It's people having a problem with the way that the companies and the architects of these tools are telling everybody they're going to have to use them. And of course, most people correctly suspect that this stuff that is relatively inexpensive, at least at the beginning, is not going to stay that way. So they don't want to be bait and switched into, okay, you have to use this thing and now you're going to pay for it. Because we've seen a lot of that happening over the last decade, and I think people are onto that particular scam. So, do I think that people are going to DuckDuckGo purely because they hate AI? No, I think that is one element of a larger negative reaction to AI that is increasing among people who are not already technologically oriented or who don't have roles that really do benefit from the stuff. And those do exist. A lot of people who are doing monotonous, tedious data entry stuff, data analysis stuff, I'm sure they love these tools because they do cut down their workload. But for most other people, they just can't escape hearing this stupid term used on everything, toothbrushes, all kinds of stuff where it doesn't make any sense. And so if they hear that there's a company that's saying, hey, if you don't want to see this stuff, just turn it off, that's going to be very appealing. And I know I talked about how DuckDuckGo was handling this before, so this has been me going, yeah, that's why I thought it was smart then, and I think it's even smarter now. And of course, Google, to some degree, has now made that very evident to people that, hey, there is a company that is trying to give you some choice options here. And I think that's really probably even more than being anti-AI specifically. I think the idea and the attraction of having an option to decide when to use and not use these tools, I think that's what people are actually responding to. So is it a negative reaction to AI driving people away from Google? Well, maybe, but it also might be, and I actually find this to be shockingly hopeful, it could also be that people heard about DuckDuckGo and saw that they were actually saying, hey, we're just going to let you decide what you want to do. And they looked at something that was giving them a choice to make and giving them those options, and they preferred that. Later.